He's currently 1,258 rushing yards in his 16 career starts, which is over 400 more yards than any other quarterback in NFL history through that part of his career. It's impossible to summarize what this young man has done in just one graphic, but the highlights are ridiculous. He's the only player in history to post a perfect passer rating on the road twice. He's on pace to become the first player with 3,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards in a season, and he has a better touchdown to interception ratio right now than Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and some of the other names on your list. So there's a lot to talk about, I think, with Lamar Jackson in a lot of different ways, and I'm glad that we have this group assembled to do it. But I want to start with you, RC, because I've been promising this. What is the one word you would use to describe Lamar?
Revolutionary. And we've seen other quarterbacks play this position that we thought were dual threat or that could run the football. We've never seen one like this. And early on in the season, I said that. We've never seen someone at this position this talented at running the football. But I'm here to tell you we never will again. And everybody always says, who's going to be the next Lamar Jackson, or who's going to be the next Tom Brady? Who's going to be the next this? We won't see another Lamar Jackson. I remember when I was a huge Michael Jordan fan, and Michael Jordan came in the game, and he was doing things that other people couldn't. And I still think he's the best that ever played. But if I close my eyes or if I squint real hard and I watch Kobe Bryant, I say, man, that looks familiar. That's almost the exact same thing. We are not going to find somebody else that does what Lamar Jackson does.
I disagree with you a little bit. The difference is the reason why we haven't seen a Lamar Jackson up until this point is not because he hasn't existed. It's because the league wasn't ready for it. The coaches were not committed to trying to do something like that. That's what's great about what Lamar is doing. Coach Harbaugh on the sideline said, you imagine all these kids are going to be wearing number 8 trying to be like you. It's not just kids. Other teams will see this, and maybe they won't try to do it like that. They will realize that you can do it different, which is one thing that's great about this league. When we look around at basketball and baseball, like analytics is forcing everyone to play similarly, which is kind of boring. The great thing about football is the diversity that you get from this position and from this game, because they're willing to learn and try. And the Ravens did it in a matter of a short period of time. They decided, we're going to turn this league upside down, and other teams will look at that and try to do maybe not exactly the same, but also try to do things
Dan,
different.
you had a very interesting thought on that in our meeting this morning that I think people may not be giving enough thought to.
An unbelievably short period of time, meaning a couple of minutes on draft night 2018. The Ravens were no longer in the first round. They were picking number 52, so they were thinking about what we're going to do tomorrow night. And the first round, Lamar Jackson slips and slips and slips. It gets to number 32, still hasn't been picked. And the Ravens decide, all right, hey, this is special talent. We weren't thinking quarterback, but what if we take him? What if we take him and design an offense around him and build? So we talk every single year, which of these quarterbacks is going to have the most successful career? Which of these a lot of it's who ends up in the best situation. And this is a forward-thinking, broad-thinking organization that built something for this guy.
Harbaugh's done some great stuff, and he should be in consideration for Coach of the Year this year. But that speaks to me. Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome.
Maybe he played possibly, in my opinion, the best general manager in the history of this game. He set this team up for something special, and the groundwork that he left for Eric DeCosta has been special and important.
I want to bring Maria and Desmond into this because I think the college piece of this is really important. You're talking about the NFL not being ready for this. I don't know that everyone remembers this, but you guys covered him in college when people were telling him then he couldn't play quarterback.
So just to review, Lamar Jackson was a 3-star recruit. Remember, he was rated. He was a dual threat quarterback. I believe the dual threat quarterback connotation, by the way, was just created for athletes or black quarterbacks. So he's completely separated. Then they come in, and there's colleges saying, we're going to make you a wide receiver, we're going to make you a wide receiver. So he had to get a promise from Bobby Petrino that he was going to play quarterback. His mother made sure that he was going to play quarterback. Then all he does is step in, pass for over 9,000 yards, rush for over 4,000 yards, becomes a Heisman Trophy winner, and still the question that he had to answer was whether or not he's an NFL quarterback. Should he be, at the combine, should he be running routes? Now he has to prove the next season that he can be a starter. Like, he is a starting quarterback that can lead an entire team. At every single turn, Greeny, he has proven that he deserves to be a quarterback.
When Maria said his mom made sure he was going to play quarterback, she's not lying. Like, when I was in New York for the high school, his mom rolled up on me on some things she thought I said on her broadcast.
Not a game.
I had to straighten that out right away.
Not a game.
So
his
she
mom
is not lying. Exactly. I said, nah, Alicia. We good. But my biggest concern, Greeny, was when you watched him in college, you knew he was a special athlete, he was a special talent. But then when he goes to the NFL, I was concerned that someone would try to make him into something that he's not and take away all his superpowers. And I have to give Harbaugh a lot of credit for letting him be the player that he is and then again, like you said, building something around this special and unique talent so you can have
And I
success.
went back and looked at my notes from college football. So I went back to 2017, and the one thing that Petrino says is you cannot overcoach this guy. You have to let Lamar be Lamar. And as soon as the coach figures that out, and that's what's happened in this situation, that's what you get.
I'm sorry. The difference between failed coaches and great coaches is the failed ones are the ones that say, this is my system. I need to find people that fit it. The great coaches are the ones that say, here's what I got. What can we do with it to succeed?
I think the other part, too, that I've loved hearing out of Baltimore is people talk about his intangibles, how hard he works, how hard he competes, how he will continue to work to be better. And I think those are sometimes some things we don't associate with athletic or black quarterbacks, but he has some of that breeze, some of that grading, some of that other stuff. So he's a hard worker, a guy that's going to continue to get better.
Those intangibles are important, but he is such a smart football player. And he is a guy who his college offense was probably more NFL than his NFL offense is now. He's a guy who goes through his progressions. When I see him make mistakes on the field, it's not because he made a bad read. It's because maybe he's inaccurate, but he makes the right decision.
And I want to go back just to where this whole conversation began. He's younger now than Joe Burrow is. Whoa! He's 22 years old.
Hey, that's my quarterback.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.